All right, next time, guys, if I forget to record, tell me. All right, sorry now. Okay, so basically, when you start off a trend line, you drive from the bottom to the top based on the direction that you want to go to. So this is a bullish trend line. I mean, bullish Fibonacci based on the fact that I see potential in the market going up. So I drive from its low to its high, which is at this zone. Overall, the market is respecting at the 61.8, which is very good on a Fibonacci scale, just based on the fact that when the market hits at this level, it tends to move a little bit faster. This is on a daily. There is a lot more risk when it comes down to getting but overall Fibonacci's are more reliable for me when it comes to higher time frames like daily, 4 hour, or even the 1 hour. As far as a 15-minute or anything less than an hour, I don't necessarily try to use Fibonacci's because it's just such a volatile time frame that is not necessary for that point. Okay, so overall market hit that level. If we tested it, and now we're hitting the daily. Now we're going to go into the 4 hour to a little bit more detail. So the fact is that the market had broken away from this support zone that we have at this level. Market broke away from it, and it's retesting at that level again when it comes down to the trend line on the upside. So that's the 4 hour. That's all I can see from the 4 hours so far. And another thing about this is that we have all of this consolidation, all of this hesitation on the downside. We haven't seen a lot of momentums compared to this point. When the market had pushed below, we saw this giant down, a bearish candle pushing all the way below that. So now we see this consolidation, which is very good news as far as for me personally, the fact that I got into this trade. My risk to reward ratio on this specific trade is compared to, it's, I like whenever you get into a trade, always understand this. Always be prepared to lose. Always be prepared to lose. Always be prepared to win. If you're willing to lose $100 to make 500 or 300 bucks, always come into a trade understanding if you get into this trade and if you lose that, it's not going to be a big deal. It doesn't matter because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because you're supposed to have that risk management set up. So my risk to reward ratio is 39 pips loss with 140 pips gain, which is rough estimate based on the fact that there's a lot of spreads when it comes down to a brokers. But overall, that's my guesstimate when it comes down to potential TP that I want to hit, which is 140 pips. So that's AUD so far. There's a potential for it to continue back down. I'm not necessarily saying that this is 100%, but based on risk to reward ratio, I'm willing to risk 39 pips to lose just to maintain or gain a 140 pips. So that's basically AUD USD. Yo, my ears. All right. Okay, what else, guys? Because this is. All right, if you guys have any questions, please do not hesitate to stop me or ask me because that is exactly what I'm here for. Okay, so that's basically on my AUD USD pair. We're going to move on to the next pair, which is specifically going to be, can you guys hear me? Okay. EU. So overall on EU, I barely got into this trade as well. So not much new when it comes down to this one. So you guys are basically seeing my setup as I get into it so far. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to look at the monthly. Overall on the monthly, what we're analyzing is what the market is doing at this point. Market is still hesitating at that support zone. If we do analyze this trend, we do see a market that is respecting this bearish trend line that we have at this level. Okay, if you guys are drawing, yeah, appreciate it. All right, so we have this trend line on the downside that is being respected on the monthly, as well as the fact that we have all the support zone at this level. So the fact is that when the market is respected and it's hitting these support zones on a higher time frame, something that we should not take lightly just because of the fact that there's a lot of information being placed in front of us. So that's basically on the monthly. So far, we do see the market retesting at this level. If we even draw Fibonacci at this entry point, which is around here to here, we see the market hit at the 61.8 again. So that's a very good indication that there's potential for the market to continue up. Another thing is we do see higher high and a higher low. So that's on the monthly. Now we're going to go into the daily. All right, daily so far, it's very easy information for me to analyze just because of the fact that we do have this trend line being respected multiple times, hit once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and then broke away, retested once, and it's at that level where it's retesting it again. So far on a daily, there's a lot of confirmations for a potential move up on the upside. So that's why exactly I took my buy on this trade. we look at the 4 hour, just get a little bit more clear indication of what the market could potentially do. So far in the 4 hour, we're seeing is a market that has been broken away from this previous support, which is at this level. It has retested at this trend line that we have set up, which is more clear on the 1 hour. If you look it up, so we have like broke away, we tested at this level again, and it's now at that zone again. So another good thing about this trade is the fact that there's a lot of support at this level that is not being broken. There's a lot of consolidation. For you personally, if you guys want to get into this trade specifically, I would honestly wait until there's a break away from this general consolidation just to give us an obvious direction. The fact that I got into this is just based on confidence trade, just because I traded EU a lot. Overall, I could definitely be wrong. It's nothing like 100% sure. But the fact is, I'm like I said, I'm willing to lose 28 pips and make 70 pips. So that's basically my analysis of this pair specifically. Like I said, if you guys want to wait to get into this specific trade setup, I would honestly wait till it breaks away from this consolidation zone, either retest or just has a very bullish engulfing candle. And if it goes below this, I would not get into this at this level. I would wait until it breaks away from its trend line that it's on the higher time frame, and then at least have a strong retest, because you do not want to get into a trade where it's still on its momentum, because it could honestly have that retest, and that whole retest could be your stop loss getting hit. So that's my EU pair. Okay, now UCAD. UCAD was awesome. UCAD was awesome. I'm not even gonna lie. All right, so far UCAD played out pretty damn awesome. So it retested at that level where we have that support zone and resistance zone, which is 94 pips. So we're gonna analyze it again to the monthly level. So on the monthly zone, what we see in market is have a bullish trend line and on a bearish trend line being respected multiple times exactly at that point. So this is simple. It's a simple concept. Markets retest multiple trend lines. That usually means that it's the and it has an upside. So now we're looking at the daily. Ooh, slowing down. All right. All right, can you guys see me? Yeah, can you guys see me? Okay, so that's on a daily. So overall on a daily, what we're analyzing right now is just a little bit more information based on that. When it comes down to it, I don't see a lot of indication for anything else on a daily. Sometimes more than often, you're not going to see a lot of confirmations on every single time frame. It just depends. Mostly it's going to be on the monthly or the 4 hour, the 1 hour, or daily. Just based on your analysis and based on what you see, not what you want to see, but what you see. So this is on the 4 hour. Overall market has respected that trend line still to that extent. Like there was multiple times that you could have entered this trade. There was once, twice, three, and even four times if you count all the way back here. So overall market is respecting these areas. Now for us to get into this exact pair another time, I honestly would not get into the UCAP for the rest of the week, because it appears to be exhausted as far as its potential direction that it's going to take because of all of these wicks and all this consolidation. There could be an obvious turn back down into the bear side and retest on the trend line, or there be a breakaway zone. So what we really want to wait is overall the market away from this general area, which is right here. What we want to see is the market break away from that and at least retest when like they did previously over here, where we tested it and continue down in the bearish direction. What we want to see is a bullish retest and a retest. So when it comes down to that, that's what I'm expecting for UCAT, is a retest at that level. But more than often, I'm expecting to consolidate for a little bit for the rest of the week. Maybe have a movement nearing Friday, but overall, I don't expect to trade UCAT just because of that. So that's UCAT so far. Now we're going to UJ. So when it comes down to UJ, so UJ is it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So when it comes down to it, we're gonna analyze on a monthly level. Always analyze on the monthly level if you're starting off. Unless you already understand this, I just go back on a monthly just to reemphasize the information that I want to relay on you guys. So overall, monthly level, we see this bearish trend line, multiple retests, breakaway retests at this zone. We see these bearish candles. So when you see candles like this, when you see these wicks on the downside, that means there's seller's exhaustion. I emphasize that a lot because all of this is to be taken seriously, because this means that the market is getting exhausted. There's not enough momentum on the downside to push the market down. Like definitely when you see here all this seller's exhaustion on this side, all these wicks, what did we see right after that? All this bullish momentum at that point after that. So that's a really good indication to see where the market's at and how the buyers and sellers are reacting to that. So that's on the monthly level. Now we look at it daily. So on a daily so far, market has broken away from this a specific trend line. On the downside, we see a retest and then a support zone at this level. So this would have been a definitely great buy to get on this at that level. But overall, what we're seeing is this zone exactly. So that's on a daily 4 hour. As far as analysis is concerned, there's a lot of consolidation going on so far at this point. We do see a bullish trend line being respected at this. We can see it more clearly on the 1 hour. Overall, market has respected this bullish trend line up to this point once, twice, and three times respected, broken away, and retested on the upside. So this is great news just because there's a potential for a market to continue down just for the rest of the week. Not exactly saying for the rest of the next week or month, but overall, we do see a potential for the market to continue down. The only thing that's kind of, in a sense, giving me another indication is this fact that we have all these candles on the upside and now on the downside. So in order to get into UJ safely and have a secure trade as far as you are waiting for your confirmations, there is a breakaway from a trend line, but we also want to break away. So we see wicks because of the fact that you can see people just because of the fact that they're exact direction when it comes down to UJ so far for me. I do see a high percentage that it potentially could continue back down and retest at this level and then continue back up just because of the fact that it has broken away from this trend line. And there is wicks on the upside, but another factor is that it could definitely just consolidate within this general area, this shoot it back up. So I would just wait until it breaks away from this consolidation zone and retest, and then that would be your move for either buy or sell. Honestly, UJ is going to take at least until next week to actually see a clear cut movement. Like I said, you don't want to catch every trade. You just want to catch your trades that you see as the perfect setup as far as you potentially get into trade because you saw it in your analysis, not because you wanted to see it, but because you saw it. Okay, so that's basically UJ. Now we go into Ripple. I've loved trading Ripple. My TP literally hit like 2 hours before this call, which is great so far. This was a sell and a buy. So overall, what we see at this trade setup, honestly, when it comes down to Ripple, you don't necessarily need to analyze it on a monthly level. You guys are going to see me repeat a lot of things just because I want to emphasize this fact that I want to, for anybody that's new or want to engrave it into your head, to understand some things that I think every time I look at the market, I always think these things, so I'm saying them out loud. So overall, on a monthly level, we don't see a lot of analysis because of the fact that cryptocurrencies are fairly new as far as based on other currencies. So overall, there is not going to be a lot of information when it comes down to the monthly level. See who said that? Trade what you see, now what you think. Exactly, Cruz. Trade what you see, now what you think, and that's the motto I live by. Trade what you see, now what you think. So overall, on a daily, we see a little bit more information. What I'm relaying right now is that we see a market have a little bit of a trend line on the upside right here. We have a downtrend being respected multiple times, but more than often, I'm not going to take this serious because it is a cryptocurrency. It's completely different than the currency, but overall, the foundation for this is exactly the same as a regular currency. The fact is that you can trade it with trend lines and you can trade it with technical analysis. So overall, we see on the 4 hour, we're starting to see a little bit more information. The fact that I got into this trade was because we saw the market retest at this bullish trend line once, twice, three times, break away, and retest at this zone. We did not see it go a little bit higher. So if you look at the hour, we see a little bit more detail because of that. Let's look at this. Okay. So we saw this consolidation. When I saw the consolidation, there was definitely momentum for the market to continue down. And that's definitely what it did. I saw an expectation for the market to hit 61.8, which is
Bro,
on your Fibonacci. Yeah.
if you do that with 0.10 standard, how much will profit be for that first take profit hit, the first one?
Point 0.10. Honestly, bro, it just depends your account. Like, honestly, it would be depending on 500 to within 500 to 700 on that general area.
All right.
Okay. But overall, when it comes down to this specific trade setup, what we see is a market break away from this trend line and retest at this zone. And then we do see enough Fibonacci, which is the 38.2, which is great because, like I said, 38.2s are really great indications that the market is going to push down as far as not necessarily as fast as a 28.6, but it's relatively going to be faster than 61 point. So what we definitely saw is a retest. And then the TP was a 61.8% on a Fibonacci. If you guys understand the way that I trade on Fibonacci's, all of these areas have information. My TPs are usually negative 27% or 61.8% negative. I'm more than often going to probably have a little talk with you guys about this specifically to so you guys can get a clear cut of how to trade off Fibonacci's the way that I was taught. So overall, it could definitely help you guys as far as hitting TPs and having stop losses. So I put my stop loss very big just because of the fact that I know and understand that cryptocurrencies move drastically, and there's a big opportunity for the fact that it could definitely have a spike, and my analysis could be right, and it could still hit my TP. So that was my TP on that. I saw another great trade setup just because of the fact that the market continued down, and then there was a trend line. There was multiple retests once, twice, three times. Technically, this is for me a third time because of just the way that I understand how to trade Ripple. And then the market broke away and retested at this general area. When I saw this wicks on the downside. There was a potential for me to get in. So I definitely got in on a 50-minute chart. Overall, I saw the market move up, and literally within a few hours ago, like 2 hours ago, it hit my TP, which I honestly didn't know it's still right now. So far, what we're seeing for the potential for a market for us to get into this trade and exactly, let's see if we see any other setups for the rest of the week, because you can trade cryptocurrencies all week. I would definitely wait for a breakaway from this support zone and resistance zone, just because it's such a strong in a sense support zone, because of the fact that it's been hit once, twice, and then it's broken away from it and it's retested. Now we have a point where it's retesting again. There might be a potential for a sell just because we have these wicks on the upside. But overall, I would just be patient and wait it out, because the market is, once the weekend hits, we definitely start to see cryptocurrencies get a lot more slower. So you don't necessarily want to get into a trade and just wait it out until Monday. But just be patient and just overall wait what we can definitely see as a setup. For me right now, I'm confident as far as the TPs that I took and all that stuff. So as far as if I see any more analysis or any potential for a very clear cut trade, I'll send it out as far as in the group chat to definitely for you guys, so you can guys catch another trade when it comes on the Ripple. But so far right now, I don't necessarily see a setup that's very clear cut. Just the fact that we have this support zone and resistance zone, there could be a potential for a downside and a retest at this level at least. But if that does happen, then there's multiple confirmations that can take based on that. So let me look at the 4 hour, just get more of an idea what could definitely happen. So on a 4 hour, we do see this giant wick on the upside. So yeah, I'm leaning more for sell for Ripple for the rest of the week, honestly, because just of the fact that we have this information. But I'm just gonna wait it out, see if it consolidates. If it starts to consolidate a little bit more and it starts to give us that indication that it could potentially go down, I'm definitely gonna send out a concept and an idea, a technical analysis to the group chat and say there's potential for it to hit down. But if it just starts to move drastically, I'm not gonna mess with it. Don't be greedy. Just be, just enjoy your profits and don't try to catch every single trade. So now let's go to US 30. So US 30, use the fibs on the 4 hour. Okay. Romeo, you want me to use the fibs on the 4 hour? All right. I got you, bro. So on the Fibonacci's on the 4 hour, on the Ripple pair, let me see. So when it comes down to the Fibonacci's, there is a potential. We do see a 50% retracement, which is honestly not giving me much indication. We do see the wick definitely hit on 61.8, which is something that's a good sign so far for a sellout. But overall, on this specific Ripple pair, I'm not looking for any more setups based on that. I just want to wait on confirmation because of the fact that there was a lot of momentum on the upside, and I don't want to risk it basically saying that there was all of this momentum on the upside and not completely ignored it just because of this giant ass candle that we see over here. So I'm just gonna wait it out. Like I said, I want to wait till it start consolidating and give me a little bit more information, because Ripple really acts different when it comes down to how it trades and how it moves. So overall, I'm just going to be a little bit more patient when it comes down to this one. So we're going to look at US 30 next. Okay, so US 30, which, like I said, if you guys have the opportunity to trade US 30, hey, that pinball candle big wick exhaustion on H1 is an indication for EU buy. EU buy, pinball candle wick on the upside is an indication. Indication EU buys. I'll get back to that at the end of US 30, Flavio. Let me just finish this up real quick. Okay. US 30 setup was beautiful last night. Definitely, bro. Those US 30 is so damn amazing to trade. If you guys ever get the opportunity to trade it and you want to set up your account, and if you gain enough capital, I would honestly just like trade US 30. Try your hardest to learn it, because it's such a, in a sense, it's not volatile where it's going to move drastically but it has even on a point zero one, man. That's definitely more. So overall, what we're looking at for our analysis, market has never. Hold up, it's my internet's kind of slow. Okay, your internet is unstable. Let me see. All right. So on a monthly, what we're seeing right now is the market hasn't necessarily hit that level before. So overall, market might definitely get exhausted. We do see multiple retests on that resistance zone, which is good indication. Just because we don't want to definitely want the market to break away from this and just give us a bullish momentum because it could definitely just continue dropping. But overall, when it comes down to US 30, it does not need to be volatile. It just needs to be safe and secure because of the fact that it is based on top 30 companies of the United States. I emphasize that because if it starts being volatile, that means that there's something wrong with our economy. So overall, market has respected multiple times. That's on the monthly, so we're just waiting to see what we see on a daily as far as more information. Consolidation zones on this level, not much information on a daily as far as where it could potentially go. We do see a little bit of a trend line being respected at this level, but not much more as far as that indication is concerned. So that's basically once, twice, and three times at that level. So we're gonna wait and see on the 4 hour. So on the 4 hour, let me see. Slow. It's pretty slow. I don't know about you, just what's it called, Verizon? I heard this in Verizon. Oh no, come on. Just hold up, guys. It's loading. It's 30. So basically, it comes down to USD. If you do want to trade it, just be very sure that you have enough money. I would not trade US30 with less than, I want to say, $3,000 in your account, just because of the fact that if it does move in a sense the opposite direction, you still have enough wiggle room in your account, so it can definitely not take you out as far as that. So why is my thing doing this? All right, so 1 hour. Okay, it took me out again. Okay, so 1 hour, basically what we're seeing right now as far as information is concerned, market has respected this trend line that I have set up on a 1 hour. So overall, market has multiple times it has hit that point. If we look at the 4 hour, it's much more clear. We have once, twice, and three times at that point. It's exactly at that level, which is crazy. Okay, so 1 hour, we're seeing a lot of consolidation, which is in fact a very good thing because it's great to trade consolidations because once it breaks away and a retest, that's definitely a trade setup for you to take. Right now, the market is consolidating within this general area. If you look into the 1 hour, a little bit more clear cut, we start to see a market that's becoming more bullish as far as this is concerned. So for me to get into this specific trade setup, I would need honestly the market to break away from this consolidation zone within this area that we have right here. So I would need the market to break away as far as I'm concerned from here to here. So this is my expectation for the market. I needed to break away from these levels. So overall, once it breaks away from this zone, I'm expecting the market to push up a little bit higher than that. But once it starts to consolidate like this and it starts to have these wicks on both sides, I'm starting to see a little bit more hesitation on both sides. So when it comes down to that, I don't expect a bullish trend line to be relevant all the time just because of the fact that it's already hit it three times. It's already probably getting exhausted as far as the momentum on the upside. So there's a potential for it to continue back down just because we haven't seen that push on the upside on the when it comes down to that resistance. I'm definitely it's definitely indicating for me that this market is getting exhausted in buyers. So I'm just going to be patient and wait it out until it breaks away from this zone. And if it breaks away from here and it retests, then that's definitely a sell for me just because it broke away from this trend line and it's retesting at the support and resistance zone. And the fact that if we do get a Fibonacci on this, we could probably hit it for to 38.2. So we just once it does trade, because I honestly don't like signals, but we got now as well. Okay. So me the Flavius question that he said, just get real quick. That Pit bar candle, big wick exhaustion on the H1MK for you buys. Yeah, we do see a lot of exhaustion on the downside, so that's potential for a buy. Okay, so if you guys have any questions, go ahead and ask. If not, I'll just give you guys like 1 or 2 minutes to decide if you have any questions. If not, then I hope you guys have a great night. It's great to have you guys. Like I said, I'll be on next Sunday at 3 p.m. And this is gonna be recorded. So whenever you guys miss this, I'll send a link out on YouTube whenever I upload it because I'm gonna upload it right after I'm done with this. So you guys can definitely go over it and rewatch multiple times, and you can see where there was a potential different outtake or input when it comes down to your way that you trade. So I would always emphasize analyze your way, analyze because that is so vital when it comes down to this industry or this career that you want to make. Always analyze your pair. Don't go off of somebody else's analyze. Even because of me, don't go off of what I say. Go off of what you say because I'm not going to be there 100% of the time with you, and I'm not going to hold your hand because I emphasize that there's no way that anybody's like going to be there 100% of the time to tell you. So as long as you learn this skill set, you learn how to do it by yourself without any assistance, then you become unstoppable, and you can depend on nobody. You can just make as much money as you want again. So that's my little rant. But overall, I hope you guys have a great night. That was basically my analysis. If you guys have any questions, hit me up on my DMs. Don't hesitate to ask. I'm more than willing to help. This is definitely a way to help me out. So hope you guys have a great night. If you have any questions, please ask because like I said, it's better to be remain a fool for a second than a lifetime because this is probably an opportunity that we don't as in question. So I'm gonna leave like that. Definitely change your life and your family's life. So don't forget about that. All right. See you guys.